Welcome to this autumnal, witchy tarot and oracle card reading. Tonight we walk together into the darkening season to honor the turning of the year. If you wish to jump straight to the card selection, you'll find the link waiting in the description. But if you're not in a hurry, come with me. I'll show you where this reading found its inspiration by taking you on a short journey into the Nordic wilderness. Step into my traveling witch's house, a true witch's house, not on chicken legs but on wheels, and let us wander into the autumn forest. This reading is for all witches and for all wandering souls. And for those who carry even a single drop of witch blood, a sense of magic, a hunger for mystery. Especially it is for the solitary witches and travelers. Solitary, yes, but look closer. We are not lonely. The forest is our companion, and in the season of descent, the land speaks to us. So come, let us welcome the dark season together. The night descends. Night birds call from the treetops. The winds sigh through the pine needles. And from this atmosphere, your reading will be drawn. Autumn draws near. Leaves turn gold. Shadows stretch on the forest floor. Here, as the veil begins to thin, 3 paths open, each one revealing what you need to see as the wheel turns. Come closer, let's draw your message from the cards. Let's see which cards would like to join us today. We'll let fate decide the voices of this reading. The first card that comes forward is Enlighten. Illumination is near. A period of enlightenment and clarity awaits. This is the card for Group 1, the first path that opens tonight. The second card to step into the circle is Transformation. Transformation is brewing. Embrace change to harness its magic. This marks the theme for the Group 2, the second thread woven into this reading. And the third card is Clarity. Light a candle for clarity. Illuminate the path to your desires. This is the card for Group 3, the third flame to guide the way. Take your time to feel which one calls to you. You may choose more than one if several call to your spirit. As always, take only what truly resonates with you and let the rest drift away like smoke from the cleansing herbs. Now then, let's begin. Group 1, Enlighten. The first card uncovered for you is Enlighten. It carries the message: illumination is near, a period of enlightenment and clarity awaits. This is a vision of sight in the darkness, like candle being lit. The shadows on the forest floor lengthen, but the moon rises to light your way. Something that has been hidden, uncertain, or unclouded is about to be revealed. This card calls you to trust your witch sense, to let yourself be guided by your feeling, inner knowing that strengthens when the veil thins. You are about to glimpse the pattern behind the tangled threads, a truth or a spark of clarity that was waiting for you to pause and notice. In this turning season, enlighten reminds you answers often arrive with sudden clarity, like moonlight through branches, revealing not all at once, but enough to show you the next steps on the path. First, we'll pull from the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, a fitting deck for the greatest of the Sabbats. The first card drawn for you is Rooted. It speaks: may you never tear the living ritual that is magic merge within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. This card reminds you that your magic, your clarity, rises from within you and flows through you. You are in the long chain of lineage. Like the trees, your roots reach deep into the dark soil, drawing wisdom and strength like rejuvenating water. Rooted asks you to remember where you belong. Places, energies, or perhaps activities. In the season of turning, as leaves fall and the earth grows quiet, the card whispers that your clarity will come when you root deeply in your own soil. Return to your rituals, your daily grounding, to places that nurture you and feel home, from activities that originate from your own will, for there the light will reveal itself. The second card is Protection. It says, "This is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through its walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare lift its hidden." This card reminds you of your right to defend what is yours. The three veiled figures stand like shades at the graveyard's edge, symbol of what is uninvited, what does not belong. Protection tells you, you have the right to draw your circle, to say, you are not welcome here. This is sovereignty. Guard your home and your energy, for protecting them itself is an act of magic and power. The third card is Broom. It says, "What dreams may come from what you seek, make room, make way. A clearing need be." The broom is the witch's tool. It sweeps away dust, clutter, and stagnant energy. But in skilled hands, it's also a vehicle of travel. The witch's steed, carrying her to the Sabbath, a symbol of crossing between realms. There are other uses for this tool as well, but not every secret is meant to be revealed in a YouTube reading. For you, The broom is a sign. A clearing is needed. Prepare for the celebrations by releasing what no longer serves you. Also, a crossing of border or travel may be ahead of you. The fourth card is Greet the Darkness. It reads, "Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the places that make you whole, but cut deep with all their sharp edges." Ah, what a lovely, nourishing darkness this is. It softens the edge and lets eyes rest. It is the dark soil where roots grow, the womb of winter where dreams take shape. Darkness offers silence, privacy, and shelter, a space to listen more deeply, to feel what is usually blinded by light. For some of you, this may speak of embracing what you need to accept, the things you cannot change, but can learn to carry with grace. But for all, this is a message of preparation. The darkness is coming, whether literal or figurative, and its arrival, like turn of the year, is certain. Welcome it as an old friend. Become like a creature of night, with lamps seeing in the dark, wrapped not in fur and feather, but good outdoor gear to help keep the cold at bay. The light will return in its own time, but you can live your life to the fullest while this is going on. Next, we will draw from the deck of Solitary Witches, infused with the tone of forest, a companion for those who walk their own path. The first card to appear is Wishes, the very first card in the deck, a sign of beginnings. This card invites you to make a wish, the kind whispered to a falling star, and the kind that is planted deep within the soul, like a seed entrusted to the soil. What is it that your spirit longs for? Pause the video if you wish and say it out loud, or at least in your mind. Now is the time to shape that wish, and perhaps move soon into carrying it out as well. Her little cauldron. She lives apart from the world, tucked away between the trees, not in exile, but by choice. In her life, she holds enough, and her cauldron, even if small, is magical. This card speaks of choosing your own life, even when the path is odd or simplified, and finding freedom in what others may never understand. The Witch's House. This card continues the theme of one's own space, both home and mind. It speaks of creating a place where you can simply be, where the walls know your name and your thoughts have room to breathe. The Witch's House reminds you that home is made, built slowly from authenticity, with intention and care. The Maiden and the Invoke Lamp. This card is a promise of spring, a reminder that darkness is never endless. Light, love, and warmth will return as surely as dawn follows the longest night. It invites you to look ahead with gentle optimism, trusting that the seasons will turn, and that life once again will bloom. Spring will come with its tender hope and quickening burst of life, so rest while the world still sleeps, like the fields beneath snow, gathering strength for the light's return. Now, let us turn to your tarot cards, those mirrors of the unseen that will weave the next layer of this reading. Your card for this group was Enlightenment, so these cards are for you to bring you clarity in your situation. I shall turn them all at once and we'll read them together as a whole. First, we have the Son of Swords, followed by Temperance, Ace of Swords, the Hermit, Four of Wands, and finally the Empress. Together, these cards paint a story of growth through clarity and patience. The Son of Swords speaks of decisive movement, a call to act where you have been waiting, or to speak your truth with precision. Temperance asks for balance and trust in timing. The work may feel slow, almost still, yet harmony is forming quietly beneath the surface. The Ace of Swords brings insight, a new idea, revelation, or understanding that pierces through confusion, mirroring the promise of enlighten from our first oracle card. Then comes the Hermit, guiding you inward. The small flame at the back of this turtle echoes the light of illumination, a reminder that wisdom glows brightest in the darkness. The Four of Wands follows with joy and connection, a celebration, a homecoming, or simply a moment to share with warmth. Even in winter, there are circles of light, if you choose to gather near them. And finally, the Empress. Her presence closes the spread with nurture, beauty, and creation. This is a season to tend your ideas and your well-being, to let joy and abundance grow at their own pace. Since this is a witchy reading, let's gather a handful of herbs from the witch's garden to see you on your way. If you planted the seeds in the witch's garden reading with me in the spring, I'll link it here if you wish to see it. Perhaps these are the herbs you now gather before the frost. Ivy. The first herb we gather is ivy. Even as other plants wither, ivy stays green, faithful through the frost and shadow. It speaks of endurance and resilience, a plant spirit that supports you in thriving by your own rhythm. And let it also remind you that even the strongest vines sometimes lean upon others to reach the light. The next herb we gather is fly agaric, the red-capped toadstool, so often misunderstood. It reminds us that not all things bright are good for food, but neither should they be judged as bad. Its spirit is one of thresholds and transformation. It blurs the edges between worlds, showing that the wisdom often hides within what others fear. Treat it with respect, and it will teach you discernment and open a door to mystery if you so choose. It is a magic mushroom in its own right. Study its symbolism, and it may teach you lessons that they don't teach you in school. Hellebore. The next herb we gather is hellebore, the winter blooming flower, also known as the Christmas rose. It grows when few others dare, its pale petals rising through frost and shadow. Once used by witches and healers alike, it reminds us that beauty can grow from the harsh soil, and that courage often looks like quiet persistence. Handle it with respect. Its magic is potent and not without danger, but its lesson is clear. Even in the coldest season, something sacred still blooms. And finally, we gather thistle. Though guarded by thorns, it is a healer's plant, a protector that also mends. It reminds you that strength and healing are not opposites. They live side by side, like thorn and bloom. Thistle teaches self-respect and renewal, to guard your energy without closing your heart. Let its spirit stand watch over you in the colder months, a quiet shield and a balm for what is tender. And so we walked together through this autumn path, from the first glimmer of enlightenment, through roots and protection, to the stillness of winter's garden. The gold thread running through this reading is this: clarity doesn't always come from light. Sometimes it's born in darkness. You are learning to see the softer lights of intuition, to trust the quiet voice that guides you beneath the knowing mind. Root yourself in what is true, guard what is sacred, and clear the way for what wishes to grow. Even in the darkness, life continues. The roots deepen, the cauldron still stirs. Carry the lessons of the herbs. They will serve as your charms for the sacred months ahead. A reminder that your light does not fade, even if the days grow short. The weaver has spun her threads, and I hope you've caught the insights you were hoping for. If you did, that is lovely. If not, then please remember, certain things are not meant to be known in this moment. If you like the atmosphere of the reading, please leave a like and subscribe if you'd wish to enjoy more readings like this. One thread has shown itself, but the forest holds more. If you so choose, another path may speak. Let's proceed to the next reading, shall we? Welcome, Group 2. The cauldron stirs for you tonight, and change is in the air. The first card uncovered for you is Transformation. It carries the message: transformation is brewing. Embrace change and harness its magic. This is the cauldron of rebirth, a vessel of alchemy where endings become beginnings. Warm your hands over the hearth where the cauldron sits. Letting go is not always bad. Like autumn leaves returning to earth, something in your life is being composted, turning into fertile ground for what's next. The card calls you to step into your own magic, to stir the cauldron of your life with intention. What you mix now, thoughts, habits, choices, will brew into the next season of your story. Transformation asks you to trust the process, that even when you are in the middle of transformation, your true essence remains. You are becoming more fully of who you already are. First, we'll pull from the Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle, a fitting deck for the great Sabbath of change and renewal. Let's pick these. It seems like they wanted to come for you. The first card drawn for you is the Veil. The card reads, "It's quite possible your eyes have become the fog in which you dwell. A half-swallowed glimpse of all that you truly are or can be, that the tears you bleed are ready for the storms to turn the skies inward." At Samhain, it is said that the veil between the worlds grows thin. It is a time when the seen and the unseen brush against another, to remind us that mystery is near. The symbolism of the veil and unveiling reflects an awakening within you. This card speaks of clarity dawning after a long period of cloudiness, of courage to see yourself and your path more truly. And if new understanding stirs emotion, let it. It means that your spirit is alive and ready to grow. The veil reminds you that revelation is a gift, and every glimpse of truth brings you closer to your own light. The next card is Mischief. The card reads, "Keep your eyelids open and sight sharp as nails, for there is something trailing behind your tail." This card carries the spirit of the trickster, clever and unpredictable. It reminds you to stay alert, but also to play along with life's riddles. Mischief encourages you to be a little mischievous yourself. Meet the trickster with a smile and turn the game in your favor. The next card is Healer. The card reads, "Listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror." There are many healers and many ways to heal. To find your cure, you must first understand the wound, what caused it and why you still carry it. When you recognize its source, you also learn how to mend it and how not to reopen it again. The moon behind her speaks of rhythm and time. Healing takes time, like her waxing and waning light. Your healer might not be a person, but movement, meditation, medicine, or moonlight itself. The next card is Elements. The card reads, remember to feel the warmth pulsing through her womb. You are a child of Mother. True harmony awaits you. This card calls you back to the balance of the world, to the fire that stirs your will, the water that softens your heart, the air that clears your thoughts, and the earth that steadies your feet. These forces move through you as much as around you. You are made of them, shaped by them, and sustained by them. The elements remind you to return to simplicity, to light a candle, breathe the cool air, tend your plants, or take a bath. The next card is Graveyard. The card reads, there is a song that billows in the peace of knowing no end, in acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. This card doesn't speak of death, but of completion, the relief that comes when something has run its course. There is peace in endings, when you no longer need to hold on or keep pushing. Like autumn leaves returning to earth, what once was can finally rest. Graveyard reminds you that closure is not loss, it is a release, and in that release, new life quietly prepares to begin again. Next, we'll turn to the Solitary Witch's Oracle, made for those who walk their own path, walking through an old forest. Let's see what message it holds for you. The Maiden and the Imbolc Lamp. This card marks a tender beginning, the first stirrings of life after a long winter. It reminds you that hope returns quietly, like the first thaw beneath the snow, inviting you to walk towards what's new with gentle trust. Wishes. Here, your heart's desire takes form. What was once only dream now asks to be named and nurtured. What do you wish? Whisper this intention to the wind, ready to be met halfway by the world. Sweet Ostara Harvest. The time of promise has ripened into reward. This card celebrates growth, joy, and gratitude, the moment when you see how far your patience and care have already carried you. She is 1,000 flowers. This is fulfillment, the bloom of your own becoming. It speaks of abundance, creativity, and the beauty that unfolds when you live in harmony with your own natural rhythm. Now we'll turn to the tarot, a mirror for reflection and understanding. Through these symbols, we'll explore how themes unfold in your own life, what they reveal about your growth, your rhythm, and the transformation already taking place within you. Here we have your 6 tarot cards laid out before us. I'll turn them all at once, and together we'll read their story as a whole. You'll notice one card, the Black Swan of the Father of Cups. I'll leave it reversed, just as it appeared. Inversion changes how it's read. From left to right, we begin with the Ace of Wands. The first spark, the creative fire that calls you to act. It's the seed of transformation, something new that wants to come alive or has already come alive through you. Next, the Father of Cups, reversed. The Black Swan. A black swan is often seen as ill omen, a sign of disruption and loss of control. But reversed, it tells a different story. An event that seems unfortunate at first glance will turn out to serve your highest good, perhaps even better than you had dared to hope. Then comes the Son of Pentacles, the Deer. Gentle, steadfast, and sure-footed, he moves quietly through the forest with intention. This card speaks of staying true to your path, even when it winds slowly. It is a reminder that steady devotion, not haste, brings you closer to what you seek. The Ten of Wands shows burden or overextension, but also the nearing of completion. You've carried much, perhaps too much, but the load has taught strength and discernment. You can also see this as final binds covering your goal that you're trying to reach. Next, the World, a beautiful sign of integration and understanding. It's the circle closing, a season fulfilled, reminding you that transformation is also completion. And finally, the Eight of Swords, the butterfly emerging from its cocoon, a moment of release. Where you once felt confined, clarity now begins to unfold. Together, these cards trace a full cycle, from the first spark to completion, from vision to freedom. And when the time is right, the world will open before you, a circle completing, understanding, returning. Eight of Swords brings release, the butterfly breaking free, wings unfolding in their time. You will no longer be bound by what once confined you, but move freely with the wisdom this journey has given. This is the story of your transformation, a path already set in motion by the first spark, now leading you up towards completion, understanding, and eventually freedom. Since this is a witchy reading, let's gather a few herbs from the witch's garden to see you on your way. The season is turning, and what was once a green shoot now has ripened under the sun. If you joined me in planting intentions in the spring, I'll link that witch's garden reading up in the corner. Perhaps these are the herbs now ready to be harvested, their magic matured through the turning of the wheel. The first herb we gather is the rose. Here she blooms at the heart of the tree of life, a place called Tiferet or beauty. It is the meeting point between heaven and earth, the still point of balance where love becomes creation. From this center, all things radiate outward in harmony. Thought, feeling, and form, everything woven into one. The spell of the rose is one of integration. She teaches us that the healing does not come from cutting parts of ourselves away, but from allowing all of them to coexist: the thorns, the stems, and the bloom. Her lesson is that the true beauty is born from wholeness, not perfection. When you call upon Rose, you call upon the power to love yourself back into alignment, to soften without losing strength, to open without fear. So, if this is the herb you'll find in your hand today, let it remind you: you are the center of your own garden, and from your heart, new worlds may bloom. Next plant we gather is oak. He's the keeper of time, the one who remembers all your seasons. His roots twist through the dark soil where old stories sleep. The oak teaches that growth measured in years, not moments, is what lasts. His spell is patience, and he lends you his calm today, to steady your hand, slow your breath, and remind you that what's built with care will not easily fall. The next card is the witch's garden. Sometimes you plant your crops carefully and nurture with love, and it still fails. Other times you toss a few seeds into the soil without much thought, and somehow it flourishes year after year. You will reap what you sow, yes, but sometimes a wildflower blooms uninvited, or a deer tramples what you loved most. Life is like this, full of unexpected ups and downs. Yet every seasoned gardener knows, if you want potatoes, you must plant potatoes. Life giveth, and life takes away, but every successful gardener knows, nothing in life is as important as gardening, and even that is not that important. This is the lesson of the witch's garden. The final herb we gather is belladonna. She moves under the triple moon, a figure of the high priestess. Her movements fluid and intentional, her sickle cutting both herbs and illusion. Known as both poison and cure, she teaches that power lies in balance. Too much anger and you burn all around you. Too little and you fail to defend what matters. Too much shame and you apologize for existing. Too little and you move like an elephant through china shop, shattering what's fragile. Every emotion, even the hard ones, fear, grief, anger, anxiety, carries its wisdom. What feels unnatural to you is often the antidote you need. Belladonna's lesson is this: the discomfort you face may be proof that you are breaking new ground, daring to grow beyond the patterns that bind and restrict you. These are the most groundbreaking moments in your life, where you dare to make a difference. Let's look at the reading as a whole. From the first spark to the final leaving of your cocoon, your reading traces the energy of transformation. The change has already begun. It started with the winds of change. From there, the cards guide you through many phases, through courage and humor, through healing and perseverance, through connection and grounding. All parts of slow alchemy that turns shadow into nourishment. Across decks, one theme echoes again and again: rebirth through awareness. Transformation here isn't sudden or theatrical. It unfolds slowly, like seasons turning in nature. You are being called to tend your inner garden, to understand your emotions, your patterns, and your choices as living things that grow, bloom, and decay in their own time. Each ending that has been and will be is a part of a greater pattern of renewal. Each discomfort, a sign that your roots are pushing deeper, cracking the rocks as they push. This is your season of sacred renewal, not a storm of change, but a steady turning toward your truest form. This beautiful note, this last petal, or golden autumn leaf that falls, is the last note of this reading, group number 2. Did you get the answers you were looking for? If you did, good. But be open-minded. They might not hold as fates shift and you grow. If you didn't, that's good. It is not about answers, but walking the path you're walking. If you enjoyed the witchy, mystical atmosphere with me tonight, leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more stories like this. You may still choose another group or let this one echo, but now it's time for group 3. Welcome, group 3. The candle burns for you tonight. The first card drawn for you is Clarity, carrying the message: light a candle for clarity. Illuminate the path to your desires. This is the spell of illumination, where vision meets action and the unseen begins to take form. Clarity is not about knowing everything at once. It's about seeing the next true step and taking it. The candle's flame reminds you that manifestation is not just wishing, it's weaving. It's the dance between intention and effort. It's casting spells as well as actually doing the work. Your desires may dwell on many levels: the tangible, like work, success, money, or the soul deep ones, like peace, belonging, purpose, and love. This card asks, what would you like to really call in? Light the candle to align with your desires. When your thoughts, words, and deeds burn with the same clear flame, the path ahead becomes easier, clearer, and unmistakably yours. First, we'll draw from the season of the witch, Samhain oracle. It's perfect for the season when veils thin and intentions take root, to guide you to clarity that guides creation. The first 2 cards already appeared. We'll take those. And then these 2 to form a neat row of 4. Let's read these one by one. The next card to appear is Voices. It reads, with a tug at the gut, feel them romance your very breath. Listen to the gentle flickering within your eyes, for this is where they guide. This is a card of inner knowing and encouragement. It speaks of listening, not only with your ears, but with your magical sense. The world around you is alive with messages, small repeating patterns, birds, numbers, shapes, and feelings. You are surrounded by signs and whispers, but you must slow down enough to hear them. Trust the language of spirit. It speaks in symbols, sensations, and synchronicities, all waiting patiently for your attention. The next card to reveal itself is protection. It reads, "This is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through its walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare lift its hidden." Protection is a card of sanctuary. It speaks of sacred boundaries, of keeping your light clear from what drains or distorts it. You are being shown the power of the veil, the safety of hidden, the magic of retreat. To hear your own voice, you must first calm the outer noise. Step back from the world's chatter and return to the still place within, where your truth glimmers beneath the surface. Guard your energy with love and let your clarity grow in the calm space where only the things you invite are welcome. The next card to rise from the deck is Cauldron. It reads, "Bewitching yes it be, blink and you shall see a bubbling desire left in the brewing rain." The witch's cauldron is a sacred tool of transformation because it once stood at the heart of every home. Food was cooked in it, herbs brewed into medicine, threads dyed, floor wash made. Raw ingredients went in and items of nourishment, healing, and useful value came out. Here, the cauldron becomes a symbolic tool for you. It asks, what would you like to brew? To manifest your desires, you'll need the right ingredients: intention, patience, resources, strategy, and willingness to stir until the vision thickens. Magic, like cooking, at times needs both heat and time. You may need to try more than once before it tastes just right. Let us turn the last of these cards. The final card drawn for you from this deck is Nature Spirits. It reads, "On your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees." This card invites you to remember that nature itself is a healer and a mirror for the spirit. When you breathe the forest air, feel the chill of the wind, or listen to the leaves stirring, your thoughts begin to clear like mist lifting at dawn. Clarity doesn't always come through effort. Sometimes it finds you when you let yourself play, wonder, and reconnect with the wild. Go where the air moves freely, or bring a touch of nature indoors. Either way, the playful pulse of the life will find you and whisper the guidance you've been seeking. Next, we'll turn to the Solitary Witch's Oracle a deck for those who walk their path by moonlight, trusting the truth of their own knowing. Let's see what message it holds for you and what clarity awaits to be revealed in the cards. There, 4 beautiful cards. Let's turn them to read your message. The first card drawn is The Milk of the Mother Flows. It speaks of life's generosity, the way nourishment finds you when you soften enough to receive it. This is a call for replenishment and renewal. If you have been giving much of yourself, this card reminds you that giving and receiving must stay in balance. Let yourself be restored by what is simple and sustaining. You know, when you pause for a moment, what it is. If you are already in a season of peace and abundance, take a breath of gratitude for the flow that surrounds you. The next card to appear is the Witch's House. This reading is for you, but I want to share what this card means to me. For as long as I can remember, I've dreamed of a secret hut in the woods, a secluded little place where I could rest, recover, and listen to the world breathe. This van has become the living version of that dream, a small traveling witch's house, the forest around it changing each time I move from place to place, like magic. I often find myself tucked into some quiet corner of the world, surrounded by trees. It is a dream made real. What would yours be? Find it, nurture it, and let your spirit rest there a while. The next card reveals magical manifestation. The woman in the image has claimed her magic upon her skin, a tattoo, a sacred act of will made visible. It is not a fleeting spell, but one that asks for courage, pain, and healing before it settles into beauty. This card speaks of bringing your will into the tangible world, knowing that some creations, once made, cannot be undone. Yet do not let fear stop you. When the act is chosen with intention, it becomes a lifelong ally, a mark that grows with you, its meaning deepening over time. This is your reminder to act not rashly, but bravely, and to let magic take form in ways you choose. The next card is Spells from the Hearth. Here we return from the wilds to the glow of home, to the warmth that waits when the wandering is done. The witch tends her fire, stirs her herbs, and works her magic with devotion and care. This card speaks of heart-centered magic, the kind that nourishes and warms. When you bring heart-centeredness into your work, all that you do will elevate in energy. Now we turn to the tarot, a mirror for reflection and understanding. Here we have your 5 tarot cards laid out before us. I'll turn them all at once, and together we'll read the story as a whole. Two of Swords. An eclipse descends, a moment of decision and heightened awareness, like the moon's shadow sweeping across the land. Then, as the veil shifts, clarity arrives. You know which way to go. Next comes a burst of movement, the Son of Swords, the owl in swift flight. Action is taken, the mind is sharp, and the will focused. The 5 of Swords follows, speaking of the need to cut the proverbial worm, the inner worm of doubt and conflict that keeps you tethered to what drains you. Yet now you hold the sword, and you know how to use it. After this act comes peace. The 9 of Cups, the 9 vessels full, a moment of ease and emotional fulfillment. Pause, breathe, and savor the sweetness that effort has brought. But the story does not end here. The Son of Pentacles steps forward, steady and sure-footed. He reminds you that magic matures through care and consistency, and that what you've envisioned will take form through patience, routine, and grounded devotion. Since this is a witchy reading, let's gather a few herbs from the witch's garden before the frost settles in. What once grew wild in summer's light now carries the colors of autumn. Let us harvest what still blooms and see what lessons these plants have kept for you. The Witch's Garden. There is a time for tending and time for rest, and the garden, like the seasons, remind us of both. Autumn calls us inward to reflection and renewal, while spring, in its time, awakens what has slept beneath the soil. What once thrived may fade, and what seemed forgotten may bloom again. Care for what still feels alive within you, and let the rest return to earth. For from that quiet ground, clarity will rise once more. This card feels like a thread, connecting back to the Witch's Garden reading we shared before, a continuation of its magic. I'll link it here and below to the description, should you wish to return there after this reading. Love lies bleeding, so this is Amaranthus. This herb blooms where the heart has been tender, it is said, in the soft soil left after loss. Its crimson thread reminds us that sorrow and love are not opposites, but two currents of the same river. She helps ease the ache that follows heartbreak, separation, or endings that came too soon. Let what bleeds become offering, and what remains become wisdom. Fly agaric, toadstool Amanita muscaria. Fly agaric shimmers between the worlds, a bridge between the ordinary and the enchanted. Its red cap glows like a beacon among the falling leaves, reminding you that forest magic is both fleeting and ever-present. This card invites you to open your perception, to let intuition guide where logic cannot reach. But it also asks for balance, to stay grounded even as your awareness expands. Let yourself be enchanted, but not lost. Through wonder, clarity returns, and you remember you are part of the enchanted world. The dragon tree. The dragon tree towers above, like it rises between the worlds, a bridge of power and endurance. Its resin, called dragon's blood, has long been used to strengthen spells, seal intentions, and protect sacred space. It is a plant of courage and vitality, a reminder that strength and heart can coexist. When this card appears, it calls you to stand tall in your own magic. Ground your energy, but do not hide. You are being asked to embody your will, to act, to speak, and move with purpose. If your spirit feels scattered or unsure, call upon the dragon's grounded fire to center and empower you. You are strong, and your actions matter. Let your presence be both rooted and radiant. 4 plant spirits have appeared for you. If you wish, take them and their lessons with you as you travel. Now, let's take a look of this reading as a whole. This reading unfolds like a path through mist, each card lighting up the next step. The first 4 prepare you. They invite you to listen to the voices of your intuition and spirit, to protect your sacred work, to stir your cauldron with patience and purpose, and to invite nature spirit into your life to balance and ground you. These are the foundations of clarity: listening, protecting, crafting, and harmonizing. The next 4 cards speak of what follows once clarity begins to flow. There is abundance and nourishment, a place of belonging and meaning, the courage to manifest your magic in tangible ways, and the reminder that all true creation must be built upon love and heart. The tarot reveals how this may take form in your life. A moment of sharp decisions and awakening, a swift action that follows your insight, challenges that demand your action, and peaceful sense and fulfillment that grows from your efforts. Yet one that still asks for steady tending over time. Finally, the plant spirits bless your path. The witch's garden teaches the wisdom of cycles. Love lies bleeding offers ease to the hearts that have known pain. Fly agaric invites you back into enchantment and wonder, and dragon tree grants you courage and protection as you walk forward. Together they form a living message: to listen, to protect, to create, to tend, to let your clarity ripen into magic, and your magic root itself in love. Thus concludes your reading, Group 3. The spell is cast, and the message is clear, and the path is now lit. The cards have said what you needed to know. Outside, the nights grow darker and colder, but you have your inner fire to light your path. Step gently now, you carry forest magic with you, and if the threads still tug at your thoughts, return. There are other stories to hear, other readings to experience. Blessed be and happy dark season, fellow witches and travelers.